Well, it's April 15th. We all know that is Tax Day. Tax Day, USA. And no, everybody doesn't get an automatic extension because of hurricane. Maybe North Carolina does. But, no. That's a false rumor. So, guess what this is? Yeah, that's my tax return. W-2s, tax return. 2.5 hours with TurboTax yesterday afternoon. Alright, what's going on here? I'm trying to get my situated here. How come that's that way and that's that way? Something's struck out here. All right, folks. It's live television. Give me a second here. Everything has to be like rectangular, and it's not. And I don't know why. All right. I'll figure it out. Not today, apparently. All right. Oh, my computer got a little disoriented. Maybe Malin gave it a shove. Anyway, I got my 36-page tax return done on TurboTax. Oh my God. Yeah, so have fun with that one. Yeah. It's done. Well, we're still, we lost Facebook, but they'll connect. Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Twitter Live. My internet connection is a little, not exactly. Gotten a little flaky. Let's try. I'm going to do a little offline test here and see what's going on. I have to have 23 megabits per second upload speed. You know, download is for all you folks that are looking at internet content that is published by others. Well, I'm the other. Yep, there we go. 52, 36, 52, 52, 53. You can't see it because it's on my control panel. But at the beginning, you know, sometimes you can't, at the beginning of a broadcast, I should say, it takes, you know, it's a little wobbly. But anyway, it's working. got my taxes done. I guess I have to extend Brennan because I don't have both his W-2. W-4 you fill out when you're employed by somebody. W-2 is what they send out to you on January 31st. They have to send it to you by the end of the month, and of course, everybody waits till the last day of the month. So that means if they put it in the mail, which snail mail, you get it sometime mid-February, if you get it, because the mail is not exactly the most, reliable thing in the world, and they don't send it like return receipt, or any of that kind of stuff. It's just, So Lawrence is talking to diners in Nassau County. He says Long Island. He obviously has no clue where he's at, because it's not Long Island, it's Long Island. It's Long Island. You don't Island. That's not Long Island. Jeez. Get him out of here. I'm not. I don't know. Guess I'm too used to Steve Ducey. Supposed to be 3 people on the couch, not 4. But they're trying to appeal to all. I don't believe in this fair and balanced thing. Hell with fair and balanced. The liberals have been putting us through hell, with litigation and stuff. We got to be feeling fair and balanced on Fox. I don't think so. They don't think we're fair and balanced anyway. So the hell with them. You don't like it? Don't look at it. Go turn on CNN and eat your hearts out. Yeah. Oh boy. Remember, this is a simulcast, or I think it's a monocast of YouTube Live, actually. Facebook kind of dropped out early. I don't know why. And Twitter is Cumsy Cozy. And accordingly, as you can see up in the top, Simulcast to 3 social networks. You can find all the history of over 400 broadcasts, I think, at @ FAU4U. Why? Because I am on in the College of Science, adjunct faculty at FAU, the number 4U. Yeah, FAU4U. And of course, it's for you. That's what teachers do. We give to our students some little piece of our knowledge. I'm going to lift up on this image, and what do we have? We have exit data. 6:56 this morning. I'm leaning out my balcony, and look who peeked up its little eyeball above the clear skies over the Atlantic Ocean. Our sun. Yep. Captured with our iPhone 16 Pro Max JPEG image. Yep. This year, in September, assuming they come out with a new phone, with all this tariff talk, and they're exempting certain items from China. And I'm sure Tim Cook got a hold of Trump and said, hey, are you really putting 145% tariff on my iPhones coming into the United States? We only have like a billion iPhones in the United States. A billion, like B with boy, billion. And now the next 200 million, you're going to tax my ass 145%. No one in the United States can afford the phone. No one will be able to upgrade this year because of your stupid tariff. So, stupid is, stupid does. What are you going to do about the tariff? I'm going to stop talking. It's your turn. Yeah, it's your turn. Tell me what's going to happen with the stupid tariff. Yeah. Before I go crazy. Well, stupid is, stupid does. Oh well. So this model is not impressed with Jeff Bezos's Blue Origin blast off of the 6 pretty women from Ipanema. Let's see where that story is. It's buried in here. Harvard, $2 billion. We're going to fund your endowment. I don't think so. You start behaving with your on-campus, whatever the hell you're doing. Ben Affleck makes shocking confession. Oh boy, that should be interesting. At 8:21 a.m. and 12 seconds. See the time up there? You can set your watch on that time, sweetie, because that is the correct time. Oh yeah, that is a very correct time. Watch out for these human-like robots. Of course, the Japanese and the Koreans, they have these female humanoid robots that, if you're like 35 feet away, you'd say, "Oh, let me go snuggle up next to this little honey," and it turns out to be Robbie the robot. But father of second Texas child to die of measles says he has no regrets. Oh, really? Then you're a frickin' moron. If you don't mind that you've lost a daughter to. I mean, God, I hope that's a misprint. You can't be that sick in the brain. All right, retiree. Let's see what this says. Retirees on Social Security just got some excellent news. Oh yeah, what's that? I'm speed reading this article. Anyway, they never tell you what the good news is. They write a headline like that, and guess what? There's nothing in there about what the good news is. The only good news is Trump said, no tax on tip, no tax on Social Security. Now that's important. Ooh. Yeah. So Biden is coming out of hiding. He's putting on a suit, and where is he going? Let's see where he's going. He's going somewhere. Going to Chicago. Yeah. Poor Joe Biden. Everybody, a lot of people don't like Joe Biden because I don't dislike Joe Biden. I just don't like his policies. The left-wing policies, and I don't like the fact that someone else was running our country while he's napping or sleeping. Who the hell is actually calling the shots in the White House? There will be an investigation of that, I can promise you, because everybody wants to know. The media has asked the question a couple times, with no answer coming forward, of course. They don't have to come forward. So guess what? They're not going to. Harvard's president rejects Trump's demands. Trump said, okay, that $2 billion of funding that's going into your account is not happening. We're cycling that back through and paying Social Security benefits. I'm sloshing through this what do you call it? Flipboard. I hope some of you have signed up to Flipboard. I am not financially connected with Flipboard. I am not compensated by Flipboard directly or indirectly. I just use the app. It's a free app. I'd pay for it, quite frankly. Some of the people that post stories through Flipboard, sell advertising with their digital content that is displayed on Flipboard, which is not flashing and blinking in your face. You see in the you can't see it. Sometimes it's in the middle of the screen. I have the split screen thing going on here. Let's see. No. Sometimes the video game advertisements get animated and show up on my screen. Brain imaging method detects genetic markers of autism with about 95% accuracy. Well, that's over 90%. The article says 95. The headline says over 90. The article says up to 95% accuracy. So it's somewhere between 90 and 95%. If we are to take the story literally, which my mother told me a long time ago. No. Don't listen to anything you hear and only half of what you read as truth. Truth is a magical fruit. Fruits de mieux. As you can see, I'm paging through Flipboard, looking for something interesting to highlight. There's the sunrise. I'm putting it on the screen over here. So that Hottie's belly. Alright, I got this. There we go. Trump administration freezes $2 billion into their endowment. It's not happening. After Harvard rejects his demands of stop with the anti-Semitism Semitism. Yeah. Whistleblower. Anyway, I have a whole inventory of course, it's 6. Lift up on the picture. 6:56 a.m. That's the sunrise. There's the XF data, and you can see right here. I took it from my balcony. There it is. And I was looking this way. I'm going to rotate around so that east is up. And I'll zoom back, and you'll see the Atlantic Ocean, of course. Yeah. All this information is in the XF data of just about every picture you take. You may not see it. You may have it turned off. As far as your own visibility. But the information is stored in the header of each picture file. Now, if you do a print screen on this file, then it's going to pick up the exact time, date, and location of where you did the print screen, which I'm not going to demonstrate for you, because I don't want another one of those with the wrong time and date on there. Now, this is a bit later. Lift up on the image. No, well, lift up. No, I can keep. Maybe I can get rid of them. 656. I thought I had. Oh, here's the 655. So here's the 655 one. Notice the sun is not up. I'm going to do a little adjusting on this because the sky was darker. So we're going to make it the sky was orange though. Where's contrast? Yeah, I'm going to turn that up a little bit. Yeah. So it looked like this at 6:55. Lift up on the image. We got exit data 6:54. Excuse me. This is a minute before sunrise. We're not interested in seeing dark bushes, so I might as well cut that out. And what do we say? Nothing screams louder than, you see the Atlantic Ocean? It's not at a tilt. So we need to make that so it's square. Oops. Oh my goodness. It's hard to do this with a finger. That's it. Now we'll pull this back down a little bit. Yeah, nothing screams louder than a horizon that is going uphill or downhill. Yeah. Now the Atlantic Ocean is perfectly horizontal. That's where it's supposed to be. That's why they call it a horizon. Nothing screams louder than a picture with the horizon for Kakta. which is the Yiddish word for screwy looking. All right. Trying to make this my mind's eye as a view of what that looks like. You can see the ocean. We can see the ocean, and you can see a slight ripple. But no white caps. Yeah. We could not see all the, these imagers in these cameras are so sensitive. You don't see all that. No. Only the eye of a very sensitive imager would see that. So it's looking like that. Color saturation, it looks good. There we go. That's pre-dawn. Pre-dawn. Gosh. Contrast. Looks pretty bright. We turn up the black point. And we have to get up here and turn down the brilliance because it's dark out. It's supposed to be dark. It's not dark. Let's see if we can turn down the exposure. See, we turn down the exposure, and that everything goes down.
Sorry, I don't understand.
There we go. As soon as the sun peaks up, just like that, lift up on the exit data. There it is, 6:56. If you look on your... Hey Siri, when was sunrise this morning? Hey Siri, when was sunrise this morning?
You'll need to turn on location services for that. Want to turn it on just this once or while using Siri?
You turn on location services. I don't want to do that. All right, never mind. Hey Siri, when was sun up this morning in Boca Raton?
We'll see some sunshine this morning.
Hey Siri, when was sunrise this morning in Boca Raton, Florida?
In Boca Raton, Florida today, sunrise was at 6:56 a.m.
There you go. 6:56 a.m. There it is. Oops. Did it go away? It doesn't come as a text message. It just comes and goes. This dual authentication. The authentication comes and goes so quick. I don't have time to even see what the 6-digit number is. Oh boy. It used to be able, if you touch it, it would freeze it. You can't get your finger on it fast enough. Or at least I can't. It's too much going on here. All right, here's my little putty cat. Kino. That's our boy cat. Yeah. watching the birds chirp. Early morning, pre-dawn. What time was this taken? Lift up on the image. 6:53. This is before sunrise. He's looking east, young man. So we're going to edit this a little bit to make it authentic, so to speak. Authentic means adjusting the image so that it more. So we're going to turn down the exposure. You see, we're turning it down. And we're going to turn down the brilliance because it was not brilliant. And the highlights, we're going to turn that down. The shadows, the shadow knows. So I'm turning down how much you can see about the building across the way. It's dark out. And then there are hills. There we go. Alright, that's better. That's the way it was. That's the way it is. That's the way it was. That's the way it is, yeah. Well, I can adjust it a little bit. I'll just turn it up just a tiny bit. Alright. Oh, we got our fence there. We need to do a little, you see the bars over on the left side? We need to square them up at the edge of the photo. Just like that. And how about any other corrections we need to make? Yeah. Let's get back into this again. Line up at the corner of the building. There we go. No, that doesn't work. Perspective control here. We're gonna line it up with the edge of the post here. Yeah, like that. No, it's not distracting. The seam right here is not equal distant, so it's squared off. See, all of them are right even with the edge of the frame. There you go. That's what I'm so delighted. There was a time before they had perspective control on the Photos app. That's part of the operating system. I went online. This is the April 10th, April 8th, April 6th, April 5, 4, 3, 2, April 10th. Why don't they have April 15th? Or 6th? Yeah, yesterday's April 14th. Anyway, maybe it was just not interesting. Yeah. This is headline news with the New York Post. They always have some nice artwork. Them's the breaks, buddy. Them's the breaks. Independence Day, Major. Mayor Adams dumps Democrats will run for re-election on his own line. The Dow tumbles on Trump's tariff plan. That's April 4th edition, Friday. Of course, this is, I don't know what the Dow futures are like. Alexa, what's the Dow futures like this morning? Anybody listening to me? No, this is not Alexa. Oh. Alexa, stop. Hey Siri, what are the Dow futures like this morning? Let's see if I can get it on screen. Oh boy. No one understands me. At least Alexa doesn't. I need something on Amazon.com. Let's see what I have in my. What the heck is this? Oh no, I don't want to forget that. I'll say that for later. All right. I'm going through recent orders. Marilyn wants 2 more of these. There we go. Let's see if they still have them. This is in colors black. Uh-oh. Can we change color? Mm-hmm. It's a 2-pack. Color black's all I got, huh? Okay. What's these right here? These lights are, quite frankly. Oh no, that's not the same ones. Rats. So many different varieties. It's the button on the top. It's this one here. And we want, oh boy, what's this? Bronze. No one wants bronze. I'll take bronze. This is a 1-pack for $26. No big whoop, huh? We want 2 of those. It's supposed to come in 2-pack. Uh-huh. These things are great. They're IPX4 rated, so they can get stuck out in the rain. Here's the way they look. They stand up 12.5 inches tall. I measured it. It's got a 6,000 milliampere battery. Charges with a USB-C port, which is now the port. You see, IP54. Yep. There's an exploded view of how it looks. That's the battery right there. It's a flat battery. It's not, like a round one. If I push this little thing, it's going to explode a view. And then it shows you the little processors. There's the battery. There's all the LEDs. It's got 3 different light settings. Sure. Marilyn wants a pair of those for the patio outside. So we're gonna get back to where you. So this is a single. We want 2. Screw it. Let's get 3. Put it in the cart. Add it to cart. Go to cart. You're watching me. We can. Special deal. 25% off. Bupkis. At $25 a piece. It's 26. They're making it sound like it's a big deal. It's $1.14 more than what. It's okay. It's good enough. Proceed to checkout. Let's do that. I'll make sure we're shipping it to the right proper address. If I order in the next 10 hours and 5 minutes, it'll get here tomorrow. Let's do it. We're done. Okay. That's the end of that. So now if I go back to Amazon, touch the Amazon icon, yes. Then I'm going to hit the little Jimmy icon and hit my orders. And then I'm going to arriving tomorrow by 10 p.m. Perfecto. There it is. They're ordered. And I could cancel the order. I'm not going to cancel the order. We're good. I just want to make sure. I always go back and make sure the order was placed. Our cleaning ladies are showing up today. So this broadcast was prompt at 8 o'clock because at 10:30 Jimmy's got to go and make sure I got a bunch of empty boxes I have to break down so the ladies can deal with it. And let's go back to the so the Tesla is the interesting thing about this car is you see the headlights is this light strip all the way across. This you can see where I'm pointing with my finger. This is not the headlight. This is like the turn signal thingy. This is the headlight. It's all the way across to the other side. It's a light bar all the way across. There are little tiny LEDs and little parabolic reflectors. Like the reflector that you see, in the flashlight. And you can see in the middle there is an LED. Right in the middle. So in this whole little light strip is, and the reason why there's a seam here is so you can open up the frunk, the front frunk. Plus, this whole light strip internally can shift a little bit left and right. Like if you're making a turn, like a right-hand turn, the headlights, this behind the scenes will, turn about 15 degrees to help light up the side of the road, so you don't end up in the mud. And if you have opposing traffic, this side of the light beam will dim down a little bit, so you don't blind the opposing traffic. Yeah. So every year they do a bunch of tweaks. This year they've done a lot of tweaks compared to we're driving the 2024 version as of March 18. A lot of so this is our second one. We returned the first 3-year lease Tesla. The technology equipment, it's always good to lease it instead of buy it. Don't buy high technology things. If you can lease it. Rent it, lease it. I guess you lease things and you rent buildings. The B word. Yeah. But this Juniper.
It's 9 o'clock.
Here's the other side of the car. The Juniper. Here's the story. Would you survive a date with this hottie? This is precisely the question the lady in the bikini recently posted on her Instagram. Minus the hottie part. We decided to add the word hottie ourselves, taking a creative license to describing her because, after all, she is one hot babe. And somehow or other, this is the way the article came out, and then if you dig in the article, this is the facial view of that hottie, and we're supposed to guess her name, which the first letter of her first name is an M. So it could be Michelle, it could be Margaret, whatever. I don't know who it is. It's an LA babe. And of course, since I'm 103, I don't know the names of these young hotties. So, I don't care to know the name of the young hottie, actually. Now here's a story back on the Tesla EV, meaning the EV first released in 2020. I guess they're talking about the Model Y. That could be. Launched a new model, codenamed Juniper. As you can see in this article, which I'm doing a little expando so you can read it, The design features smoother front styling, a new light bar, runs along the whole front. There was a very good YouTube. You can do a search, YouTube, Jay Leno, Model Y Juniper. You do a YouTube search with those keywords because Franz von Hausholzen is the guy in charge of design that Elon hired, who has designed, exquisite looking cars. Model 3, the Model Y, the Model S, the Model X, like exit. Anyway, so Jay Leno sat down with the chief designer, stood up, walked around, rode in the car with Franz von Hausholzen. That's his name. I had to practice it 4 or 5 times a couple weeks ago when I first mentioned this. And the guy in charge of, actually building the car. The head factory guy, whose name escapes me at the moment. In fact, I didn't even try to put his name into memory. I'll have to go look him up. But anyway, so here you have the head designer and the head factory guy, and they're both telling Jay Leno, with his recording of the Tesla Model Y Juniper, codenamed Juniper, the Juniper release, which has like 1,000 little tweaks. I'm making that up, but a bunch of little tweaks. But I can tell you from first-hand knowledge. Anyway, just a few of the tweaks on this car. 327 mile range, up from 305 or something. So it's like an 8% increase in range. Mostly because of they've re-engineered the shape of the car a little tiny bit, unnoticeable to the human eye, which brought the coefficient of drag down to like 0.24, I think, 2.4 to 2.3, 2.5 to 2.3. So a couple of points drop in the coefficient of drag, which is the wind resistance upon the car, as it moves forward. If the car is riding at like 25 miles an hour, stick your hand out the window, with your palm facing the wind, and you'll get an idea of what the coefficient of friction is with the air. So the drag coefficient is a number. Lower is better. Your typical, Maserati has, the drag coefficient is like 0.36, which is higher than 0.24. So the shape of the Model Y, as you can see on the left side of your screen, with the reviewer with a thumb up, I have one that looks just like that, but the front end is a little different, but the little tweaks on the front end and the side, the way the air moves around the tires, makes a difference in the wind resistance, which less wind resistance means more range for a given amount of fuel in the fuel tank. I'll use the word fuel tank because electricity tank? No, that doesn't work. I don't want to use the word battery because battery schmattery. Who knows years from now what storage method is going to be. You could be charging a capacitor, which is a device that has, a certain amount of positive plates and negative plates separated by an insulator called a capacitor. And it stores electrical charge. If you can take that electric charge off the plates of a capacitor slowly, feeding the motors of the car, for example, how much range could you get with some of these high capacity capacitors, which could compete with battery. Capacitor is not a battery. It's a device that stores an electric charge, but it is not a battery because it doesn't have an electrolyte. It has a positive terminal and a negative terminal. It doesn't have a dissimilar material between the anode and the cathode. Where the anode is made of one material and the cathode is made of another material. And the difference is, if they're attached directly, they'll short circuit themselves. So if you've got the battery in its case and you use it by plugging it in appropriately. Anyway, the Model Y. So let's go on the Tesla site. Let's see, Tesla. Let's touch this one. It should be Tesla.com. There it is. And there's the Model Y starting at $41,490. That's after tax credit. Let's do order now. Just taking you through the Tesla app. I'm going to go full screen on this so we don't miss anything. There we go. You see the $41,990. It has different. Let's make it red. Yeah. See the red? It's beautiful color red. They've changed the color red. We want white interior, so let's go ahead and choose that. So when you see these pictures, you'll see the way we would like it. There you go. The white interior is really spectacular. Don't be afraid of getting it dirty. It doesn't get dirty. And you just wipe it off with a wet sponge or a wet moist towel. I've never used any kind of a detergent on it. They don't recommend it. You don't need it. You can pour a glass of wine on there. It won't stain it. Nope. According to the news reports, I wouldn't red wine on it anyway. But for people that have kids and this and that and muddy feet, don't worry about it. Because it really keeps the car cooler, if you're in the summer or if you're in South Florida, which we are. Anyway, see the range up there in the top right? It says 327 miles. We're going to look at the lease price. Exclude estimated tax saving? No. We're going to leave that off. So, let's see, the jet black or diamond black, $1,500. increase in price. The red is $2,000. That's $500 more. What are they giving away? The white? No, they're getting. Yeah, this stealth gray, which no one likes that I know of. Not getting that. White interior, yes. Full self-driving for $8,000. No, thank you. Doesn't work yet. They're getting. There's a class action suit going on, and they're selling this like it works. It almost works. They're calling it full self-driving supervised. Well, what the hell? Supervised is not full self-driving. That's like cruise control. Yeah. Cars that had cruise control for maybe different, using cameras instead of other kinds of proximity relays, if you will. Delivery in the Miami area. Let's change our zip code to 33432. So now, lease payment with $3,000 down. You can change that to Explorer financing. Down payment, we want to change that to $1,999. There we go. Hit the tab button. Make sure that gets accepted by the application. And you see, they got a 15,000 mile lease. We drive 7,000 miles a year, so I'm just showing you. $631 for that size lease. $606 for a 12,000 mile lease. And $581 for a 10,000 mile. We have a 10,000 mile lease. So we turn in the car. It's got 10,000 miles of unused leasing credit, if you will. They don't give you monetary credit, but they're also not getting mileage added to it, and you can't get less than 10k miles. If they had like a 7,500 mile version per year, I'd get it, but they don't. So this is the smallest I can buy it for. Yeah. There's some information breakdown. First monthly payment, acquisition fee. Available today. What's available today? Ultra red paint, 19-inch wheels, black and white premium interior, $53,630. Our car price is cheaper than that. Hold on a second. Hello? Yep. Okay.
And then I guess since it has to be first reader, would you mind meeting coming down to the lobby to get it afterwards?
What time is that?
Around 10:30, 11.
Okay, the ladies are here at 11. Which is, that's all right. I mean, I'm not going to stand down there and wait. So when you show up downstairs, I'll come get it. Yeah. Yeah, and I can do that. I'll lock them in. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, bye. Okay, sorry for that break. Marilyn has to pick up something at the pharmacy. Yep. All right. So I was going to mention to you, you see the pricing there? $53,630. The price of the car that we got was $50,050. So it's roughly $3,600 less, $3,600 less, and $2,500 of that was because it was the end of a quarter, and they were pushing. They wanted people to take deliveries, so they were giving you a $2,500. They called on the phone or sent me a text message because our lease was ending on June 9th or 12th, something like that. June 9th, I think. So they called me on the phone in February or March, and they said, or February, they said, would you like to turn in your 3-year lease 2 months early? And I said, well, not really. Well, are you intending to lease another one? Well, yes. Well, we'll take it 2 months early and pay your last 2 months if you'll take a new Tesla in March, and we'll give you an extra $500 of wear and tear allowance, and we'll waive the disposition fee of $395. And I said, marvelous, let's do it. So they did it. And we did it. So on March 18th of 2024, we took delivery of our new Model Y. And I can tell you that the difference in the ride and the handling, and the 1,000 little tweaks that they did over a 3-year period of time is quite amazing. Actually, they've turned a $50,000 car into a $80,000 ride. It's smoother, takes the bumps better. You can hit. Sometimes these manhole covers are set down too low because they keep paving over the road, but they don't pave over the manhole cover. So there's a depression. There's a manhole cover extension that the city, these municipalities could buy to elevate the manhole cover so that it's even with the new pavement level. But they don't want to spend the $2,000 for the rim. It's a cast iron rim that you insert there, and so you have this depression, which louses up people's suspension. The front end suspension goes out of, if you hit it over and over and over again. Then you have the wrong camber and caster. You ever heard of those? Measurements on a wheel. Well, unless the wheel is really lock steady, which in Tesla it is. It's solid as a rock. Now I avoid, when I drive, I avoid unnecessary. I will not put my tire over like a pothole. Avoid potholes, like, at all possible. Slow down, if you have to take a pothole. Anyway, the car is amazingly different in that 3-year period of time, I can tell you. So, now this Juniper release is apparently a relatively serious change and a bunch of little tweaks here and there. They got this, you can see on this picture, it's like a blue light. You can see that blue. It lights all the way around, to the other side. You can change that color to any one of, 1,000 different colors. Actually, it's an infinite number of colors you could set that to. You could put it, if you have a red exterior, you could make it red if you want to. You can make it match the color, the paint color. Anyway, so you go online if you like the car, and whatever color, and they have. Let's see. This is long range all-wheel drive. Yeah. Explore features, and they show you the features. There you can wide angle view from the passenger side. There's a wide angle view from the rear, one of the rear seats. Notice there's a screen here so that when you adjust the air conditioning in the back seat, it's all touchscreen. The angle of the dangle and the intensity of the fan speed. And you can, load video games in there and all that kind of stuff. Watch a movie back there. There you can see the kiddies playing a video game while you're driving somewhere. There's the front screen where you have a choice of all kinds of channels to listen to. That's the display showing the car while it's parked. And you touch that button up there, it opens the front trunk. You touch the little lightning bolt there, it opens up the so you can plug in your charging wire. You touch this thing where it says open trunk, and that opens up the rear hatch. And there's a little lock right there that's basically showing you that everything's locked tight. This little thing would jump up and flip around if it's not locked. Invisible speakers. You got like 16 of them floating around there. Instead of showing them off and having grill plates and all that, you look around in the interior of the car, you wouldn't know there are any speakers in the car. They did opposite to what even the glass is acoustic to keep the road noise out and your music in, as they say. Here's all features. It'll list them. Front row, power reclining, heated and ventilated front seats. They're ventilated. They're actually perforated, so when you turn on the air, you get a little cold air in your butt. Or if it's cold outside, you have warm air coming up through the little perforations in the seating. How nice is that? For a long drive, where your seat is being air conditioned, so you don't end up with sweaty skirt, sweaty pants, sitting in a car for an hour and a half drive from here to there. There's climate information, laminated safety glass on cabin windows and roof, all cabin windows, front and back, and the roof, laminated safety glass. Tinted safety glass, metallic infrared reflective coating across the roof. Power actuated first and second row air vents. 8 exterior cameras, including a new front-facing camera. Second generation hardware, whatever that means. Connectivity, that's connectivity. The trunk hands-free power open on approach. So if you got your arms full of groceries, as soon as you approach the rear of the car, assuming you have your phone in your pocket or your watch on, because they'll do it either with the watch, Apple Watch, or your iPhone, the hatch the rear hatch will automatically open all the way up, so you can put your bags right in there. Supercharger, 15 minutes, you get 170 miles of range put in the battery. With every new Tesla, you get movies, everything that's shown on Netflix, YouTube, and other platforms through the Tesla Theater. So if you're going to pull over on the side of the road in a rest area, you can lock your doors and watch a movie or listen to music and take a nap, whatever. Basic autopilot, enables your car to steer, accelerate, brake automatically, like if you're on a highway and you have it set for 65 miles an hour and the guy in front of you slows down a little bit, your car will slow down. If he slows down a little too much, the car will recommend you go around that person, and the car will actually watch for an available place for you to pull out to go around the slow guy in front of you. There you go. That's about the Model Y. Anyway, so that's how you order your car. You go online. Oops, let's go down here so we can X out of that. So if you like that car with that wheel, you can get these wheels instead of those wheels for a mere $2,000 extra, $500 a wheel. You can get those wheels instead of those wheels. We'll take these all-season tires with the extra rubber. I'm not a big fan of these skinny tires myself. I like more rubber. So instead of 21-inch or 20-inch rims, I like 19-inch rims. Gives me an extra inch of rubber on the road. Extra, pneumatic. Because the blown-up tire ends as part of your whole suspension system in my book. So if you got those little skinny racing tires, they're a little harder on the road than the more pillowy pneumatic tires, which is what I always opt for. If I get 18-inch tires, I get them, but they don't offer them, so I can't get them. And when you say 18-inch tire, you really mean 18-inch rims. The tires are specially designed for the Tesla. You can't just go into Costco and pick up some, aftermarket tire. It has to be a Tesla tire because they have a specially designed tire to eliminate road noise because there's no engine noise. So when you have a regular gasoline car, the tire manufacturers haven't been that interested in having real quiet tires on the road because the engine's making so much noise anyway, you wouldn't notice the difference in a quiet tire. So they don't bother making a quiet tire. Tesla does. Yep, so unfortunately, but you got to pay $450 a tire for the quiet tires. No way around it. Yeah. Anyway, that's so you can finance the vehicle, and let's see. There's the whole breakdown. Now, if you finance a vehicle, like a purchase, 53 less $7,500 tax credit, I think that's still in effect. Then the car only costs you $46,130. The car payment assuming $3,000 down and a 72-month lease, 7% down, which is $4,000. $4,000 down, 72-month financing, $808 a month. That's the way I would rather go up to the very top here and do. If you want to shop around, go cash. Always push the cash button with the different things that you selected. 53,630. Yep, there you go. So we're upgrading the ultra red paint, upgrading to the black and white premium interior, and those are the only two options. Everything else is included. And we're doing the lease. Let's go back up here and check lease. There you go. Now, since Tesla Finance is taking, the credit for the acquisition, in a sense, that $7,500 allowance is built into the lease payment. So that this is $581 instead of $808. So, yeah, that's quite a difference. A couple $100 a month. That's $230 a month. $230 a month. The difference between leasing it and buying it. I wouldn't recommend buying it because at the end of 3 years you want to turn it in and get an upgraded, get a new one. That way everything's still under warranty. So we never get out of warranty because we never hold the car longer than the warranty period, which is basically 4 years on everything, and 8 years on certain things, like the battery and the drive units, the motors. The motor, drive unit, and battery is still under, is covered. Yeah. All right, that's my story on that. I'm gonna go back to my photo gallery. That's how I got into that, because of the here we're talking about CT scans projected to result in 100,000 new cancers in the U.S. The question is, CT scan stands for computed tomography. Computed tomography. And scientists are concerned about the potential for low-dose ionizing radiation. Is that going to increase the cancer risk? It may increase the risk. The question is, does it actually increase cancer production? At an individual level, the theoretical chance of developing cancer from a CT scan is thought to be very minimal, if it exists at all. And patients should not be scared of undergoing these tests if they are deemed medically necessary. There's you talk about an out, if deemed medically necessary. Like if you don't get the scan, we're going to have to cut your throat out, Just kidding. But, anyway, there is a concern about that. So, I'm just saying it. El Salvador's Bukele says he can't return, deport a guy that's deported and put in our prison. And he said, what do you call it? He's a gang member. It's tattooed on his arm. So, you want to put a gang member back on the streets of the United States? Because CNN is calling you out on it? The hell with them. That's basically what Trump said. How one passenger's bathroom break turned into a $3.4 million problem for Boeing. Apparently they won a lawsuit against Boeing. China is also talking about maybe canceling some Boeing orders to get even with the United States. Yeah. Here's an article about the upcoming Chevy Bolt, the Chevy Equinox EV. Pound for pound, I'll tell you what, whoever is handling that whole the electric car sales for, the Prius, for example. What the hell? That car looks like not a very attractive looking car. Well, it is now. Yeah, they dolled it up. Looks nice. And I think there it is. Let's see. Here's all 4 cars. $34,995. Packed with 356-mile range, which is 10% more range than a Tesla has. Truth is, the cars don't get that mileage when you're actually driving them. They get them for 3 days, and they may test the cars and all that kind of stuff, but it doesn't follow the actual experience when you get the car. It carries over into the electric too. They don't follow the way you would think. All right, the Tesla has to replace the computer in 4 million cars, or pay the owner. I know several people that I know are friends with, several people that have Model S and Model X cars, and they bought the full self-driving, and right till today it's not off beta testing. It is not full self-driving. It's supervised, which means you gotta pay attention at all times. Full self-driving means you gotta pay attention to everything that happens with that car, which includes, a soft landing for cars. So anyway, there was a class action suit that was filed by somebody, and they're basically squealing about what I'm talking about. Where's the beef? And he's, Elon, he's the CEO of the company, and he said that the computer that's in hardware version 3, which is the original, models of the Model S and the X as hardware version 3, the full self-driving software won't run on hardware version 3. Gotta have hardware version 4 computers. So, class action suit says, okay, I want the hardware version 4 software loaded, or else we're proceeding with the litigation. And they'll get paid in cash. So even though they compensated you for the time period you were without the car, she still doesn't have it all downloaded. She has to, get the balance of the software once available. People get so damn close to you. 2016, Tesla claimed that all of its vehicles in production are going to have all the hardware necessary for full self-driving. And then late last year, Elon said, no, full self-driving will only work on cars that have hardware version 4, which didn't come out until last year, or 2021 and a half. That's 5 years later. Yeah. So they're gonna have to replace all the computers, but they, and they can't replace all the cameras. I mean, they can, but it's, it's not readily possible to swap out all the cameras without disassembling of the entire car. So they'll have to pay them. They'll have to reimburse them for the software because it never did work right. So they'll have to write a check. Yeah. Now, someone I know that just got a Model X from a Model Y, and she had the Model Y for the same period I had my Model Y. Maybe she owned it a little bit sooner than I. So she was driving it 3.5, 4 years, and just turned it in for a Model X. And she bought the software, and they transferred the software to the new car. She said, "You will be transferring the software, correct?" They said, "Oh, yes." Well, thank you. Don't charge me the software. You're going to move it from this car to that car. Because I'm turning this one in, and the software has to move with me. I'm not buying it again. And I said, "Whoa, of course not." How could they possibly? Anyway, so this model right here was not impressed with the Blue Origin celebrity-filled all-female space flights that happened yesterday for a total of 8 minutes. She wasn't impressed. Sunrise. All right, listen, you all have a great day. I've been yakking here for an hour and 41 minutes and 45 seconds. And time's up. It's 9:48 a.m. You can see the time right there. My finger is just about touching it. 9:48, 17, 18, 19, 20. Have a nice day. Talk to you tomorrow, 8:15 a.m. Be there or be square.